You ever meet someone so entitled, so obsessed with control, that they don't bother to ask questions before they start barking orders? That's exactly what happened when Karen from the nearby HOA decided my peaceful cabin didn't meet her imaginary standards. She called the cops on me, demanding I remove it. What she didn't know? I own the entire valley her community sits in. It started when I decided to finally build the cabin I'd been dreaming of for years. Nestled in a quiet valley just outside a growing suburban development, it was a slice of heaven. I had inherited the land years ago from my grandfather. It was raw, untouched, and massive. Nearly 200 acres stretching across forest, creek, and hillside. For a long time, I didn't do much with it. Just hiked there occasionally, camped a few weekends a year. But once I had the funds and time, I decided it was finally time to build. A simple cabin. Rustic, off-grid, nothing flashy. I didn't clear much, just enough for the structure and a small gravel road leading in. No signs, no fences, no internet. Just peace. And then she showed up. At first, I thought she was lost. A middle-aged woman in yoga pants, oversized sunglasses, and holding an aggressively large iced coffee. She pulled up in a spotless white SUV and parked right at the edge of my gravel path. "Excuse me," she yelled. "Are you supposed to be here?" I was on the deck, hammer in hand, putting in the last railing. I waved. "Yep. Can I help you?" She squinted. "This is private HOA land. You can't just build structures here." I chuckled. "Pretty sure I can. This is my land." Her face turned sour instantly. "No, this valley backs up to our community green space. You're trespassing." "Ma'am, this is private property. I have the deed in my cabin." She rolled her eyes. "Well, I'm calling the authorities. You can't just claim land because it looks empty." Before I could respond, she was already dialing. 15 minutes later, a deputy rolled up. A guy I knew, actually. We shook hands as he stepped out of the cruiser. "Got a call about a squatter?" he asked, amused. "Apparently," I said, gesturing to Karen, who stood there arms crossed, looking self-satisfied. The deputy looked at her. "Ma'am, what exactly did you report?" "This man is building on HOA green space. He has no right to be here." He looked back at me. "Can I see your ID and property documentation again?" "Sure," I said. Walked inside, grabbed the folder, and handed it over. He flipped through the papers, whistled. "You own this whole lot. All 200 acres. He turned to Karen. "Ma'am, he owns all of this. The valley, the creek, the land behind your community. Everything." Her eyes widened. "That can't be. Our HOA says the back trail is part of our nature preserve." He shrugged. "It might feel like that, but it's not in the legal description." "Well, he needs to remove that building. It violates our community views." He raised an eyebrow. "Ma'am, you have no jurisdiction here. And frankly, you might want to be careful about trespassing." Karen stammered. "But we use this land for hiking. Kids play here." "Then you're lucky the owner hasn't posted no trespassing signs," the deputy said, handing me back the documents. She stormed off. But it didn't end there. The next day, I got a visit from the HOA president himself. Nice suit, fake smile, clipboard. He tried to be polite. "We understand there's been some confusion. We were hoping we could come to an agreement." "What kind of agreement?" "Well, the community has been accessing part of your land for years. Trails, picnics, seasonal events. Maybe we can draft a usage agreement." "Let me stop you there." I walked to the shed, pulled out laminated signs, and showed him. "Private property. No trespassing. Violators will be prosecuted. I'm posting these tomorrow. And I'll be fencing off the section behind your development." His face dropped. "Is that really necessary?" "I think so. Your HOA already called the cops on me once. Next time, I won't be so nice." He left without another word. Over the next week, the fallout was hilarious. The community Facebook page lit up with posts. "Who owns the cabin in the woods? Why are the trails closed? Can we petition the county to seize the land?" I watched from my deck with a cup of coffee. Eventually, a few residents reached out privately. Kind folks. They asked if we could maybe keep a trail open. I agreed, but on one condition: the HOA stays completely out of it. No claims, no rules, no clipboard Karens. Now I have a beautiful cabin, peace and quiet, and occasional friendly hikers who wave and respect the boundary signs. And every time I think of that first encounter, I just laugh. Because Karen thought she was protecting her neighborhood, from the guy who owns the land it's sitting on.